Tonight, the final defendant in the failed VC Summer nuclear reactor case has been sentenced to 12 months and a day in prison.
The decision came down just a few hours ago, and News 19's Shelley Garzone was at that sentencing, the last sentencing of all of those involved in these failed nuclear reactors. Shelley, what happened?
Yeah, that's right, Andrea. JR, today, Judge Mary Lewis mentioned that there were several reasons for her decision to sentence Jeffery Benjamin to time in prison. Now, a couple of those included the fact that his acts were dishonest and caused great harm to many people throughout the state of South Carolina. Another one that she'd mentioned that she kind of went too extensive to kind of key in, to drill into people in the courtroom was today that she wanted to promote respect for the law. And the final one was that she wanted to ensure that future executives knew how serious consequences for these types of actions were. She didn't believe anything less than the sentencing would be sufficient. Wednesday morning, Jeffery Benjamin, a former Westinghouse executive, stood in federal court for his involvement in the failed multi-billion-dollar VC Summer nuclear project. The VC Summer nuclear expansion project started as a shared effort between VC Summer nuclear generating station owners, SCANA and Santee Cooper. This was in an effort to build new nuclear reactors to provide energy to our state's growing population. SCANA hired Westinghouse to manage the construction. But along the way, the project ran into problems and was abandoned in 2017. Executives from across the project were charged for their involvement in the failure of the projects, including Benjamin. Prosecutors argued that he lied about the timeline and progress of the construction at the plant.
We view these as some of the most necessary prosecutions that we do in the office. Corporate executives, as Judge Lewis said, because there's so many layers, are very rarely held to account for their activities. This is obviously, in Judge Lewis's word, a fiasco for the state of South Carolina. The impact on the community has been devastating.
Benjamin pleaded guilty to withholding key information from SCENG, as well as state and federal regulators about huge delays and cost overruns with the project. Those delays ultimately cost ratepayers $9 billion, with nothing to show for it. Prosecutors requested a 12-month sentence, with the defense arguing Benjamin should receive probation due to medical reasons. Prosecutors rejected this, saying the Bureau of Prisons would be able to care for Benjamin if needed.
Deterrence is everything in this matter. Not only to deter him as he gets back into whatever industry that he's going to work in, but also corporate executives in general, that they know that though they're not under the scrutiny of some other people, that when they are caught, that they will face significant consequences. And to us, from the U.S. Attorney's Office, really the highest consequence, the one that has the most deterrent effect, is prison.
We're very disappointed. The place for Mr. Benjamin is not prison. He belongs in the energy sector. We're quite confident he'll return there soon, and we continue to evaluate all of our legal options.
Well, Benjamin is also responsible for paying a $100,000 fine. Now, technically, Benjamin was sentenced to a year and a day in prison. And under federal law, because his sentence is longer than a year, he could be released early on good behavior. Now, other executives charged included the Westinghouse project director, as well as former SCANA CEO and SCANA executive vice president. JR, Andrea, back to you.